Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Illustration Department podcast. My name is Giuseppe Castellano. In this podcast, I talk to folks in illustration, graphic design, publishing, animation, and other creative fields about their work, the lessons they've learned, and the bumps and bruises they've experienced along the way. In this episode, my guest is school librarian, blogger, podcaster, author, and illustrator Travis Jonker. What role does a librarian's personal taste and morals play in curating a library? And should they separate art from artist? Travis and I discuss. Among other topics, we talk about the shameless origins of 100 Scope Notes, Travis's popular blog on children's literature. He shares what surprising common denominator connects most good picture books. And if you're having trouble writing a picture book, Travis explains why you should try performing it. I hope you enjoy our conversation.
You know what's funny is that I rarely interview people on the computer. I really try to interview people in person as much as possible. So when I'm at ALA,
right,
I just book a ton of interviews and I interview people in person, and we have our mic, the actual microphones and the recorder set up. So that's what I'm most used to, actually.
And I'm the opposite.
You're all online.
Few in person, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I live in the woods in an undisclosed location.
This is really fun, man. I'm a listener, and so just hearing your voice, it's really cool. It's
cool
one thing I like about your show a lot is I feel like you get a sense of who you are, which is really nice. And
yeah.
So
same with yours.
This is cool to be talking with you.
Well, I appreciate it.
I feel like I know you already
until the end. Then we'll reassess, reconfigure your opinion of this episode, of this podcast. I'm a fan. We'll talk about the yarn and some other things in a sec.
Thanks.
How many times have folks said to you, wait a second, Phil Stead created the theme song for the yarn?
A handful of times. Yeah. And usually it's people who, they've listened to the show a few times, and the one time they finally make it to the very end when we're given the credits and the thank yous and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it'll be one of those.
Yeah, I knew it because I listened to the yarn, but I was listening to one of your episodes, I can't remember which, and you said something like, I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and said, wait a second, Phil Stead created the theme song for the yarn? I had to ask you that question.
That was when I was talking to Phil.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a good podcast, man.
Thank you. We have fun with it.
For real.
We have fun with it. As you know.
Are you
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. See, this is what happens. Two hosts of a podcast.
Dueling
We're never going
hosts.
to get through this.
No, as you know, it's the podcast is very fun because it's when do you get the chance to do that? When to sit down and talk to somebody and really dig into their past and how they make their work. And it's just really, it's always been such a fun thing. And Colby and I started ours in, 2009, I think. No. What am I saying?
No,
2015. 2015.
Yeah.
And
I have notes. Don't worry.
Every year we kind of reconvene and we're yeah, do we want to, keep going on it? And yeah, every year we want to keep going. It's just been a blast.
I first started listening in 2018-ish, maybe 19.
Okay.
But it was the year in review episode. I remember very clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Your first one.
Yep. Those are fun. That's the only time when Colby and I, it's just the two of us and we're talking and we make this big Google document with all these categories and pick out our best and favorite and things that we, stood out to us that year. And so we have a good time with that.
Yeah. Has anyone ever reached out to you and said, how come you didn't mention my thing?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
No one's mentioned, why haven't you mentioned my thing? I have gotten some nice, messages online and stuff where somebody was listening and when we mentioned their book and they were like, hey, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
But I haven't had much negative feedback on that particular episode. Yeah. Which is great.
Are you familiar with the podcast 3 Point Perspective?
No.
It's an illustration podcast. One of the hosts, his name is Lee White. And when I listen to Colby, take 10 minutes and listen to Lee talking, it's sounds to me like Colby Sharp. So I guess my question is, has anyone ever seen Lee White and Colby Sharp in the same room?
Well, I've never personally met Lee White, so, it could be.
It could be.
I've only heard about him from you. So maybe they are one and the same. He's like moonlighting. He's like triple moonlighting from his job teaching, from his job with the Yarn podcast to the 3-Point Perspective podcast. Now I definitely
teaching illustration.
I definitely will listen to that.
In Colorado somewhere.
Okay.
Snowboarding or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Really, if you're listening.
That sounds like something Colby would do, actually. I think Colby would love to be in Colorado snowboarding.
Dude.
So
they're the same guy.
I do think he snowboards.
Has the podcast taught you anything about yourself? Not about children's books. Wow. Not about what Phil Stead's favorite soup is or whatever the heck. Not that you asked him that. You didn't ask him that. But about yourself.
Well, you worry about like maybe how other people might be receiving what you say, or other people
all the time
might be, I don't know, responding to what you might say or something like that. And I think the more I've done the podcast, just the more comfortable you get with talking and sharing that with people, and the less you kind of care about if everything is perfect or it sounds perfect. You stop caring about what your voice sounds like. I'm curious, what's your answer to that question?
Same.
Yeah.
I'm finally, after 360 odd episodes, feeling way more comfortable just talking how I talk.
Yeah.
Not that I don't care how it's received. I just don't stress about it like I used to.
Yep.
I care. Obviously I care. I want people to like dig what's going on.
Right.
I'm not like worried about, oh God, what are people going to say? Although if I'm kind of lying a little bit, because in the back of my head, I do worry sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's always times that pops up. Do you feel like at the beginning,
talking about something that, is a hot topic.
Right. Do you feel like I'm trying to think back now to some of like the earlier episodes. I haven't really noticed like a big shift in terms of like your cadence or your delivery or anything. You're saying it's maybe more of like just an internal comfort level rather than like you shifted your style to sort of suit a more natural way of speaking or anything?
Well, I don't listen to my old episodes. That's a question I have for you, dude.
Yeah.
This is my podcast. I'm supposed to be interviewing you. I don't listen to the early episodes. Like I don't actively avoid it. I do occasionally will listen. I will occasionally listen to one if I have to do some research for my Substack or something like that. No problem.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like never again.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the first 50 or 100, you can hear it easily, especially in the introduction. I'm super tight as far as the read of it.
Yeah.
The talk with the guest is more or less the same.
Yeah. Like I still feel really tight when I'm recording the intros for episodes even now, when I just have to write something and like do a little monologue for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I have to like keep taking breaks and taking deep breaths so I don't just, get all frantic when I'm trying to just record that. So it is funny. It's like, it's so much more comfortable to talk to a person than to talk to like a microphone in the middle of nowhere.
Definitely. All right, here's some more sausage. You ready?
Yeah.
You especially would relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my intro is like fairly smooth. Like, hi everyone, welcome to the Illustration Podcast. My name is Giuseppe Castellano. In this podcast, I talk about this stuff. But this is how I record it. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Illustration Department Podcast. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Illustration Department Podcast. Podcast? Podcast? That doesn't sound right. And that goes on for like 30 seconds.
Yep. When I'm recording my intro and I'm in the closet with my little handheld recorder,
as I am now in the closet.
Okay. Yes. Yep. I do the same thing. I'll read like the first couple lines and then I'm like, why am I not breathing? And and so I take a couple deep breaths, and then start again. And then my voice like gets back up into my throat, and then I stop again and I take a deep breath. So I don't know what it is about this. Isn't that weird? Like we've been doing this a bunch of times. Like why would that be weird still?
Yeah. The most annoying thing to edit out is the parts of the like lip smacking and tongue against the teeth thing.
It has to be like, real bad for me to do that. Yeah.
Oh, I take it all out. It bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you'll hear it, but usually it happens when I go in the podcast. I talk to folks in illustration. You can hear it. Illustration, graphic design, publishing, and you can hear the little.
Yep. What do they call that?
Oh God,
there's got to be a word for that.
Me. Spit. It's called spit.
Like when you do the big letter P, they call those plosives or something, right?
Plosives. Who invented that word?
Have you heard that before?
Yeah, plosives.
Yeah,
like it's the
where it like makes the mic go out basically because you're breathing right into it. Yeah, there's got to be a word for those spit sounds. Spit sounds.
Spittle.
Yep.
Podcast spittle.
Yes. Not spit take. No.
Or some. We'll work on that. Speaking of words that I don't have any idea what the meaning is. Scope notes.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm sure you're aware, Travis, that 100 Scope Notes is approaching its 20th anniversary.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
You don't sound excited.
No, I can't believe that it's been that long. It's been over like 3,000 posts or something crazy like that.
I heard you say 4 a week.
4 a week. Yes, that is
what?
That is the deal with School Library Journal. It's a four posts a week.
I do 1 Substack post a week and I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Well, you modify things a little bit to be able to keep that pace. Like there are
ChatGPT action. I got you.
Never Giuseppe. So you get your different series that you can kind of return to where if you're struggling for a post idea, you think, oh yeah, I can do this post series that I like. And, kind of like things that work for you and that you're able to do when maybe it's a busy week or whatever it is.
Right. I mean, I had to look it up. I feel no shame in telling you this and the listener. I'm like, what is a scope note? Of course, I've known about it forever.
Yep.
When I was working in publishing, of course, I knew about it. I know about it now. I listened to the yarn, all that thing. But I never looked up what a scope note was until this. See, there's the clip. There's that little. until researching for you for this episode. So anyway, according to the Library of Congress, scope notes generally serve to limit the scope of a heading as used in a catalog, thereby helping readers to determine to what extent it covers the material they seek, and making it possible for catalogers to maintain consistency in the way headings are assigned.
Yes.
That just about broke my brain's threshold for comprehension. So what's up, dude? Like, why the name?
Yeah.
Why 100? Help me out.
Yep. So in 2007, when a lot of children's literature blogs were popping up, I was reading them. I became a school librarian in 2005. And so I was reading those blogs, and at a certain
Elementary school, right?
Elementary school. Yep. And so
nice.
it seemed like I started getting the idea of maybe this would be fun to do my own, and it could serve a couple different purposes. It seemed like a fun community to be a part of. It also seemed like a great way to sort of record and track like what I was reading and what I thought about it and who the characters were and what I recommend and those kinds of things. So then I decided I was going to start it, and I was thinking, what could the name be? So I actually took, I don't even know if they print them anymore. It's like the Dewey Decimal book off the shelf in my library. And I was just flipping through the beginning, looking for like library words that would be interesting that I could use. And I came upon scope notes, and I thought, oh, this is kind of interesting. It kind of helps like define or helps shed more light on something. So that seemed like, like a good name.
Okay. Makes sense.
And then there was a bit of just shameless internet branding. What would you call this? Okay.
So like keywords.
So back in the day when you would be reading blogs, the way that you would find out about most other blogs is by their blog roll, which is over on the sidebar. People would list all the different blogs that they read. And so you would,
I know where you're going.
and so you would go over there. Like I'd go to, whatever, a Fuse number 8 production, and I'd go over to the blog roll on the side, and I'd click on those blogs because it's sort of like a recommendation system. And I thought, they're in ABC order. They're always put them in ABC order. And therefore numbers would be before the letters. And so I thought, well, I'm going to add a number to the beginning of mine so that it would always show up at the top of everyone's blog roll. So I added the 100 pretty much just for that reason.
You're a smart cookie. Speaking of smart cookies, I asked Betsy, speaking of Fuse 8, this question in so many words when I spoke with her. I can't remember when it was, a couple years ago now. Hi, Betsy, if you're listening. What is the role of a librarian when it comes to the books they select to, or they, choose to read and showcase and highlight and champion and talk about and write about? Like how do you balance? Oh my God, I was about to say, how do you keep it fair and balanced? I'm so sorry for the dollar in the swear jar. But how do you balance that? How do you balance like your own personal tastes with sort of a wider swath of readership?
Like you said, personal taste. Kind of every librarian comes to the job with their own personal taste, and that plays a role in what kind of books they choose to read aloud, because you want to pick books that you enjoy reading, you enjoy performing. So you're going to tend toward things that kind of suit your personal taste in that regard. But then there's also the aspect of, like when I was in library school, it's like consider your community, the population, the student population, and having books that kind of represent all students. Mm-hmm. And so there's also that role where you think, okay, I'm taking my kind of personal taste out of this. Maybe this is like a book that I wouldn't normally read aloud or something, but we definitely we need it in our library. We need to have it available for our community. So it's kind of both of those things put together, I guess. Betsy probably had a way better answer to this question than I did.
I don't remember when she started Fuse 8. Did you guys ever like do a librarian blog battle or something?
I think we've always been kind of pals.
No, I mean like Betsy a friendly battle, like battle bots. People like each other. They're just destroying robots. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see how many I want to write 100 blogs this month. And she's like, I'm going to write 105.
Well, I mean, if you try to challenge Betsy to something like that, you will lose.
Oh God,
you will lose.
Crushed.
She's the iron horse of blogging. She is the blogging goat.
All right. Are you using some sports references right now?
Oh yeah, of course. I love sports.
You're from Michigan, right?
Yes.
Detroit? Lions?
Oh, right now, just absolutely loving the Pistons. But I love all, I support and cheer for all Detroit teams for sure.
Are you from Sheboygan or do you live in Sheboygan?
Born in Sheboygan, yes, and nice. And now I live it's Holland, near Holland, Michigan. It's called Zeeland. It's near Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's kind of the largest town over near us.
Okay, gotcha. Congrats on growing up in Sheboygan. I mean, that's got to be one of the funnest sounding towns. That's like one of those towns that Bugs Bunny would have mentioned.
Yeah,
Kalamazoo. Go from Albuquerque to Sheboygan, right?
Yeah,
and Betsy's from Kalamazoo, or she lives in Kalamazoo or something.
Was from Kalamazoo, yeah. We were always the little brother Sheboygan, though, to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, because there's a more famous Sheboygan out there.
That's the Sheboygan I'm thinking of.
Yes. So
forget them.
We're the smaller Sheboygan. Yes,
you're the better Sheboygan.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I read your "You need to stop pretending that Roald Dahl isn't a problematic" post.
Yes.
And you referenced this is your word, the tired art versus artist debate.
Yeah.
Tired in quotes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it, man. So I don't disagree with you with Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also add to it that he was who did he work for secretly? He was a spy.
Right.
You know that story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a sex spy.
Yeah, something like that.
He James Bonded his way into into these relationships, let's call them, with women of like important, high-powered men, and received secrets from these relationships. How do you even say this in like a G-rated way? Yeah. And then he was so good at it apparently that he got tired of it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so he said to MI6, I guess, I don't want to do it anymore. And they said, no, you're really good at it. You need to keep doing it.
Huh.
During World War II.
Wow.
I think I'm right. If I'm not, I'm going to look this up. And if I'm not, I'll edit all of that out.
That was definitely not in the his autobiography that I read about the wartime.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say that's definitely not in the school and library journal post.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
But you called the art versus artist debate tired. Does that mean what does that mean? Can you separate art from artist or not?
I think what makes me tired is that it's such a debate, and so often you're kind of left wondering, which side do I fall on? To me, that's what makes it kind of exhausting, is that you think in some ways, yes, I should still be able to enjoy the art from this artist that I don't necessarily agree with, but then, you think about it a little bit more or in a different way, and you think, actually, no, there's plenty of other great artists who are doing wonderful work that I can enjoy. And
True.
I am very much a see things from multiple perspectives kind of person.
Same.
And so that can wear me out. That can definitely wear me out for sure.
Yeah, I'm that plus indecisive.
Yeah.
I have a really tough time committing. Yeah. Which is why I don't have any tattoos.
Oh, I don't either.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I could never. So I was joking with some people because we have, the game cornhole, the bags in the holes. We have these.
Look up why they call it cornhole. I really do.
I think the bags. I think the bags actually are filled with corn, dried corn.
Okay.
And so, no, but ours are totally blank. They're like raw wood, and people have asked me like, when are you going to put something on them? And I was like, man, I can't even commit to that. So I could definitely never commit to a tattoo on my body. If I can't commit to what am I going to paint my cornhole boxes, then I can't pick a tattoo.
The same, but with plants and gardening.
Yeah.
Like I'll commit to, okay, here I'm going to plant this kind of, native ground cover and leave it alone. I'm done. I will no longer have to worry about it. I'll just tend to it until it takes. And then of course the next season I'll learn of a new native plant that I really love, or I'll see it at some botanic garden and then commit to that. I'm like, no, that's the one I want. So I'll plant that. So now I have like these areas around my house where there's like 2 and 3 different kinds of ground covers.
Yeah.
In these little shady pockets of yard.
Yep.
It's going to be a mess in a couple of years when they all come in.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Good work getting out there with the green thumb. That's something that's something that I don't enjoy, and I never seem to be able to make anything grow. And I'm always sort of amazed by people who can.
Take a plant, put it in the dirt, water it, and there you go.
I should try that.
I mean, really. Okay, so are you talking about house plants or outdoor plants?
Both. I mistreat plants. I forget about them. I don't know how little or how much water they need. So yeah,
it's easy. You ready?
Yeah.
For the inside. This is for you and for the listener.
Yeah.
If you have an indoor houseplant, first of all, you have to have the proper sized pot for the plant. And how do you know that? You sort of eyeball it. If it's a tiny plant, don't give it a huge pot, because if you water the huge pot, it will drown in all of that wet dirt. If it's too small, then the roots won't be able to grow. So how do you know if it's too small? Just sometimes when the dirt's really dry, you can just kind of pull the whole thing up. And if the root is wrapping around itself, it's choking itself. You need a bigger pot.
Okay.
Easy, right?
Yep.
Okay. The next thing you do is when you find the right size pot, give it, some good soil. You don't have to spend a lot of money on soil, just, decent soil. Water it through to the bottom. You need to make sure your pot has a hole at the bottom.
Yep.
And it drains, and you need like a little tray, those plastic trays, so the water can just come out and you don't have to worry about it spilling.
Yep.
Water it till it's soaked through. You'll know that when it starts leaking out the bottom.
Yep.
Let it sort of drain a little bit in the sink. Put it in the window.
Yep.
Leave it the F alone until the dirt is dry again.
Okay.
That's it.
Just totally dry.
Congratulations, you now know how to grow as many houseplants as you want.
So we're talking totally dry dirt.
Yeah, like the mistake people make is they will stick their finger in like 2 inches and it's dry.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I have to water it. No. The bottom is still wet. Just like leave it alone. Here's how you can tell. Pick up the whole thing. If it's really light, it's dry. You need to water it. Don't stick your finger in any dirt. Just pick it up. If it's light, water it. Okay.
This is helpful.
Did we just devolve into like a broadcast? I think we did.
I think so.
This podcast is produced by the Illustration Department, a global leader in online education for illustrators. Visit illustrationdept.com for offerings like mentorships and portfolio reviews, testimonials, our alumni showcase, our best-selling Substack, and more. That's illustrationdept.com. And now, back to our conversation. As a librarian, a podcaster, a blogger, a book creator, what's one aspect of children's publishing that you think non-publishing folks would think is crazy? If you were talking to somebody who has absolutely no idea about children's publishing, they're not online, they don't read any blogs, they don't listen to any podcasts. When you say children's books to them, they can barely cite Marie Sendak.
Yeah.
Like that person.
Honestly, maybe just like the number and like variety of different books that are published each year.
Yeah.
I think that surprises a lot of people. You know, sometimes when people will visit my house and I have my library downstairs and, you know, publishers will send books for review and things like that. And I've definitely more than once people have been really surprised with just the amount of books that come out each week, each year, that kind of thing.
I think my answer to that would be how long it takes to make a book.
Oh, yeah. Definitely that too.
You know, like 3 years. What do you mean 3 years?
Yeah.
Or 2 years or whatever?
Yeah, I work in an elementary school and so when I'm talking with like a teacher about a book that I'm working on or a book that I have coming out or something, they're always shocked with how long it's going to take. Because, it's kind of like 2 years is sort of the standard, right? From very beginning to it coming out.
Right.
And it's been longer than that for me at different times. But it hasn't been a whole lot shorter than that. Maybe a year and a half at its shortest. I'm not sure.
Would that be like your latest one or your first one?
The one that took the longest was The Ship in the Window, illustrated by Matthew Cordell.
Heard of him.
That one sold on, I think it was March 21st, 2020. It was like the day after everything closed because of the pandemic. So it was completely just like, you know, my agent called and said that it sold. And then I didn't hear another word about it for a year, at least, something like that.
Oh, you mean sold to a publisher?
Sold to a publisher.
Okay, because you had me like checking my notes like, wait a minute, my notes are wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying sold to the publisher.
Sold to the publisher.
In 2020.
In 2020. And when did the book even come out? 2024?
2024.
2024. So that one was 4 years. But that was, you know, definitely pandemic played a role in that as well, which I think probably
Plus
affected
Matthew's really slow and dragging his feet on the project. And
he's booked up, you know, obviously he's an in-demand guy.
Talk about problematic.
Does great work.
We need to talk about Matthew.
Matthew, you're awesome. His new book, 102, is so awesome. I just have to shout that book out. It's such a great book.
Yeah, we talked and he's pretty swell.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite folks.
By my count, you have 6 books that you've written. 2 that you've illustrated? Am I right on those numbers?
Yes. Yep.
What's harder? Or are they the same?
Writing and illustrating is harder.
Together
is harder, for sure. I just actually had my first experience just illustrating with a text that someone else wrote.
Ooh.
And that's with Carter Higgins. It's called Little Turtle Pond. It comes out in another year or something.
Nice.
That was a whole new experience too of just illustrating. But yeah, writing and illustrating definitely is the hardest. Yeah, the illustration process, it just takes a lot of time, and the writing process does too. And some of the things that where I've only written it, it's gone through, so many different drafts and versions and variations, and it took a long, long time.
Right.
But then, to add on to that, how time consuming it is to make the illustrations, that it's definitely the hardest to do both.
Who are you talking to? Was it Phil? About how children's book text is shorter, like the number of words are fewer now than there used to be. Was it with Phil? Do you remember?
Might have been. I think kind of in general that's true. Obviously there were books with kind of a more simple or minimal text all throughout all ages, like throughout history. Sure. But yeah, it does seem like you would see more picture books that were much longer in word count, in the old days.
I have a theory as to why that is.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a thing. I mean, it's a true thing.
Yeah.
People are, well, let's be more specific. Illustrators that I talk to will often hear from editors mostly that word counts for picture books should be in the 500 range, which I disagree with completely. It depends on the book. Depends on 1,000 things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, why 500? Why not 472? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a rounded number. It's a bullshit number, pardon my language.
I'm so glad that I am here to hear this in person, because I've listened to the show for a long time. And one thing that you hate is the quote conventional wisdom that you hear a lot of times when you feel that conventional wisdom is wrong. There's nothing that gets you going more. So I really love that I am here witnessing this in person. This is awesome.
I'm so sorry for cussing. It's so unprofessional. I feel like because you're a librarian, I should be A, whispering, and B, not using curse words.
No, God, no. I actually wrote about page length in picture books recently. I did a Substack newsletter about it.
Nice.
Just talking about in terms of Caldecott winning books, started out way back in the day. The average page length for a Caldecott medal winner was high. It was 50, 60 pages even for certain decades. And then it started slowly dropping till it hit the 90s. And I think every single Caldecott medal winner in the 90s was 32 pages. Okay. Exactly. And then since then, it's kind of slowly gone up. And now the average is closer to 40 pages. So that's interesting. I don't know if those two things go hand in hand. I kind of talked about it, or I looked into that a little bit when I was writing that, but I don't know for sure the reasoning why. There's all the typical things that you hear about why, attention spans and that kind of thing, but I don't necessarily think that's true. Yeah. And I think a good story will hold a kid's attention for as long as the story is good. So I don't really like to even, entertain those things. Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious what you have to say.
The whole attention span thing is BS, because are we talking about 3 to 7 year olds or not? Right. That's the official age range for picture books and publishing. Yeah. If we're talking about 3 to 7 year olds, anyone who's been around kids for 10 minutes, and I was talking to Sophie Blackall about this very recently, will confirm that anything can hold a kid's attention for a very long time.
Absolutely.
And typically a 32-page to 40-page or even longer picture book is 5 or 10 minute read, depending on how you read it. So what are we talking about here? That's not it.
Yeah.
What I think is happening, and I could be wrong, it's economics. It's timing. So editors are busier now than they've been in a long time, maybe ever. And so it's less laborious to edit 500 words than 1,000.
Yeah.
Because they have so much work on their plate. So you can't just keep editing 1,000 to 800 to 1,000 word manuscripts. It's not possible. Yeah. Downsizing, staffing. I think it's economics. Yeah. That makes sense to me. And from what I'm hearing from friends who are working in the industry, they're all busy as all get out.
Yeah, I can see a lot of that.
Plus, if editors had a lot more time and they weren't as stressed and harassed about, from like marketing needs this and sales needs that and da da da. Like if they could do like have the Ursula Nordstrom life,
yeah,
then manuscripts would be longer. Doesn't that make sense?
That does. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Caldecott.
Yep.
In 2014, you were on the Caldecott committee.
Yeah.
As you know, the committee's procedures are a bit on the secretive side.
Yep.
What can you tell us about that experience without getting disappeared?
Well, I mean, just on a personal level, it was so incredibly fun because it is very rare to be in a room with a group of people that are as into picture books as you are. Yeah. It was like, oh, this is just such an awesome, fun experience talking about these books with people who really care, who really are like finding things in these books that I hadn't noticed, where we're kind of like, presenting and talking about these books to each other in ways that really get us excited about picture books, about what they can do, for readers. That part to me was just, I kind of wasn't sure, like when you get on the committee, you don't know if it's going to be like real dry or if it's going to be like real loosey-goosey or what the vibe is going to be or whatever.
Right.
But to
personalities
me,
mix.
Yeah. But to me, it was so fun. It's definitely a big mix of personalities, which is also really interesting because you're like, ooh, what's this type of person? What kind of books do they gravitate towards? And why is the person seem to be championing this certain book in the way that they are? And yeah, I mean, it was just such a cool learning experience and always look back on that fondly.
So that means if you were on the 2014 committee, does that mean for the 2014 year, the Caldecott year, or were you in 2014 on the committee for the 2015 year?
The first one that you said. So
okay.
We had 2013 books.
So Brian Floca won the medal.
Yes. Okay.
Did you vote for Brian or not?
Yeah, I love that book.
Okay. You can tell me the truth. It's just me and you.
Yeah. No, I'm very pleased with that one as the winner. And also, I mean, after the fact, these are things you don't talk about when you're on the committee, but after the fact, I thought it was really cool because, nonfiction hasn't gotten a lot of Caldecott recognition necessarily. And so that was kind of a cool detail about that book. And our honor winners were Mr. Waffles, Flora and the Flamingo, and Journey by Aaron Becker.
Yep.
And so that was kind of fun because all of those books have almost no words. And then Locomotive has a whole bunch of words. So that was kind of a cool contrast. I think Flora and the Flamingo is the first Caldecott winner of any kind to have flaps. There's been like die cuts and things like that before. But that after the fact, that was like, I think somebody after everything was all done, somebody looked back and they were like, I think actually that's the first one. So that's kind of cool to
That sounds like something Betsy would do.
Yeah. To have something,
or
like
you, honestly.
Unique, like a unique honor winner in that way. I thought it was really fun too. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Flora, say that 5 times fast. Easy for me to say. Flora and the Flamingo was illustrated and written by Molly Idle.
Yes.
And Mr. Waffles, of course, was David Wiesner.
Yes.
Sort of a neighbor, David Wiesner.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, cool.
He's in the county next to mine.
I heard he has a new book coming out, maybe this fall or something.
Okay.
And I'm very intrigued. It's
he needs to do a reading at the Brandywine, and we can all hang out there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Nope.
Make your way down.
Where is it located?
It's in Chester County, Pennsylvania, about an hour west of Philly.
Okay, cool.
The most popular town around is Chadds Ford.
Okay.
Well, that's where it is. It's in Chadds Ford.
In Chadds Ford. Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, we're devolving into broadcast again, so let's bring it back. Where does one sign up to be on the Caldecott committee? Because that would be fun.
Yeah, you kind of got to pay your dues a little bit. I served on some...
I paid some dues, bro.
I served on some maybe like lesser known ALA and ALSC committees before the Caldecott committee.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Speaking of ALA, Tom Younger.
Yeah.
Who do I talk to? Who do we talk to?
Uh-huh.
The folks working in publishing these days love their petitions. They are big fans of petitions. So where is the petition? Should I write it? I'm happy to. I will.
Yeah.
That will respectfully suggest to the folks in charge at the ALA to formally apologize to Tommy Younger.
I learned so much from that documentary. Far Out Is Not Far Enough,
Yeah.
and that's where I
you know
learned
where I'm
about
going.
I learned about the whole ALA controversy there, and him kind of getting blacklisted, or however you want to say it.
Yeah. I mean, for folks who are like, wait, what? Quick 30 seconds scope notes version. He was doing great. He was like on par with Marie Sendak. Everyone was loving his children's books. He did an adult book, Kama Sutra type of thing. Someone at ALA, while he was there, and he gave a speech that people didn't really care for because I think he was using some vulgar language or something.
Yeah.
And then somebody called him out for doing these kinds of books, and that he had no right making work for kids. And long story short, blacklisted librarians, and people were like pulling his books off the shelves, and couldn't get work, and then left the country. Went to Nova Scotia, maybe.
Yeah.
First, and then
Sounds
Europe.
right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now you're caught up.
Yeah. I don't know who you would send that letter to at ALA.
Like, I just need a name, and I would write a letter. And like, respectfully, I'm not going to be like, I demand satisfaction. Just like, wouldn't it be nice? Like a really nice, hey guys, this happened in 1960, whatever it was, 67, 68, 72. I can't remember. This happened. He's amazing. And on behalf of, all of ALA, formally apologize to the great Tom Younger. I mean, that 60 seconds, and I think that would be a really special thing, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was crazy. How kind of like it almost was like just like the wall came down on him, sort of, and then he was just kind of out.
Yep.
I don't know who you would send it to.
All right. There's something to that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only one. Who knows? Is Scope Notes, 100 Scope Notes,
yes.
Is it on both Substack and School and Library Journal?
Yeah. So it's...
What am I missing there?
Yeah. So it was... it's been, 100 Scope Notes on School Library Journal forever. And
since the beginning, or did they pick it up after you?
Well, I started it in 2007, and they picked it up in 2009. So I've been on there for a long time.
Congrats.
And thanks. And at some point, so I'd always had a newsletter on MailChimp, and that was just strictly for my own author illustrator stuff that I was doing.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't connected to the blog. It was sort of like, well, here's a place where I can share some of these things. But I don't know. I think like a lot of people with a newsletter, it starts to feel very like navel-gazy or something, where you kind of get sick of like talking about yourself in a way. And so I'd kind of fallen off with the newsletter for a while, but then I sort of had the idea of like using the newsletter as like an extension of the blog, where I could go more in depth about certain topics that I was really interested in that I wouldn't normally do on the blog because of time or space or whatever. And so that's when I moved to Substack, and I've just been way more active on there this year, especially. And it's been really fun because I can talk about Caldecott history. I can do this kind of Caldecott critique series that I've been doing, where I'm looking at brand new books and kind of seeing them through the eyes of how the Caldecott committee might view them, and other kind of children's literature topics that I wouldn't necessarily have like the time or space to talk about on the SLJ blog. So I kind of see it as like an extension of the blog, which has been really fun. And it also helps because now I feel like I can share things that, are informative or interesting or helpful to people. Whereas before it's hard when I think a lot of people, when they have their own newsletter, they kind of are like, what is this? What do I talk about here? And so it kind of helps answer that question for me.
Yeah. Coming from somebody who has reviewed so many books, do you find there to be some general common ground in terms of like what makes good picture book text?
To me, it's surprise.
Okay, good answer.
That one word, I actually have it like written down and pinned up on my, tack board above my desk, because to me, that is so important in picture books. There's surprise in lots of different ways. There's a surprise that could happen in the story. There's a surprise that happens every page turn, and how you like set that page turn up and what you reveal when the page is turned. That's a little opportunity for a surprise or something that the reader didn't expect. And so I'm always thinking about that when I'm writing a picture book text, is what's the surprise that's going to happen? What's something that's going to happen that a kid won't expect that will delight them or just make them even more kind of engaged in the story. So for text, that's it for me.
Yeah. Okay. What about art?
Oh, man.
I know I'm basically saying every single picture book you've ever seen for the last 25 to 30 years, what's the common denominator on what makes the art good?
Well, I mean, this is not saying anything new, but I love it when it's not the art just showing what's in the text, but when the art is revealing something else, a different aspect of the story, where it's kind of like taking on some of the storytelling load.
Sure.
That's huge for me. And that's like, picture book illustration 101, I guess. But, you'd be surprised, I guess, for how many books maybe don't take advantage of that idea. And I think that's something that just always seems to add to the book.
Yeah. My answer to the art part is thoughtfulness. I've written about this before, like on Substack, the thoughtful illustrator.
Yes.
And I've brought this up on the podcast from time to time. So like sort of short Cliff's Notes kind of thing. Like when I was an art director, anytime anyone asked me like what I was looking for in an illustrator, all the things that you would, good color usage, good values, good drawing, good, composition, all these things, right?
Yeah.
But what does that mean? If you boiled it down to one word, it's thoughtfulness.
Yep.
That's it, folks.
Yep.
Think about it. Just keep asking questions. Keep being thoughtful. For example, the cover of Just One Flake. You have a kid with his tongue sticking out and there's a flake.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not like the most clever, the most original, the most or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the choices you made with how the kid is sticking his tongue out and the one eye that's closed and the way he's wearing his hat, even the color choices, all of that adds up. So you don't have to think, illustrators, listeners, you don't have to think about like, I need to do a portfolio piece. I need to come up with a super clever idea. No, you don't. Draw me a kid sticking his tongue out, waiting for a snowflake, and do it in a thoughtful way. And I promise you that's going to be a good piece.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
Or at least the theory of it is easy. The practice of it is incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thoughtfulness, man.
Thoughtfulness. And I even think about that in like all the details that some illustrators put into their work. Like when you look at Fireworks by Catia Chien that just won the Caldecott medal. I mean, every single aspect of that book, you can just tell was thought through and real creativity was given to it. And that's not to say like, I would say most illustrators they're putting a lot of thought into their artwork, but I guess sometimes it just really shows in books like that, and you really notice it.
Right. I think there's a fine line. Again, I have a lot of like theories and thoughts that I think are all like really interesting and profound. And, maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just delusional. I do think there's a fine line between putting a lot of thought into your work and being a thoughtful illustrator. I think it's safe to say that 100% of everyone who's listening, who's an illustrator, is putting a lot of thought into their illustrations.
Yeah.
But not 100% are being thoughtful with the choices that they're making. Perfect example. Ready?
Yep.
I was talking to an illustrator today, and we were looking at Gyo Fujikawa. There's a piece in which there's a bunch of kids in a treehouse, and they're all playing and hanging out, and it's raining. Beautiful, beautiful piece. One of the kids, and all the kids are kind of doing their own sort of things. They're all interacting and engaging with one another in different ways. One of the kids is pulling up a bucket from, the yard or whatever. And in the bucket is a kitten.
Yeah.
The bucket is tilted to the right 5 degrees. It's not perfectly upright. It's tilted to the right 5 degrees. Why? Because the kitten is on the right side of the bucket. And the rope isn't tied to the perfect center of the bucket handle. It's tied to the slight left of the center.
Yeah.
Why? Because a kid tied it.
Yeah.
A kid wouldn't tie it perfectly centered.
Yeah.
They would just tie it. They're not thinking about that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so when the kid is pulling up the bucket is tilted, and the cat is freaked.
Yeah.
And it's this tiny detail that is the 17th most important thing on this piece that makes the piece.
Yeah.
Like, it just might be the thing. Like, that's the clue for any illustrator who wants to be a good illustrator. That's it.
Right.
Another clue that I use is there's a piece in BFG. Sorry. And Quentin Blake is okay. So the giant is sitting on a rock, and his left foot is like tilted to the side. Why? Because. And that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is the magic in illustration.
Yeah. And it's kind of a mix. Part of what you're saying is stuff that clearly the illustrator thought through. And some of it comes from that sort of like looseness that like Quentin Blake was so good at, which is it's looseness, but it's also he knew what he was doing.
Right.
Where it's like it's almost on the verge of like not a mistake, but it's almost on the verge of that. I don't know how to describe that, but it's riding that fine line between looseness and thoughtfulness, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm with you on the text thing. I feel like with text, there doesn't always have to be a surprise, but it's like, what are you telling me that I can really connect with and relate to?
Right. I've read so many books out loud to kids at this point.
Right.
That read aloud experience is definitely very ingrained in me. And I'm thinking about and looking at books in terms of how I think they would read aloud and be shared with kids. And so I think some of that element of surprise comes from that, because I know that is such an effective and cool part of like a communal read aloud experience.
I refer to it as performance factor.
Yeah. Yep.
That makes sense, right?
Dude, there are some picture books where I'll start reading it, and I'm like 2 pages in, and I'm already picturing how I'm going to read it out loud with kids, because it's just the voice is so good, and it makes the reader look so good and funny or whatever it might be. Yeah, that's huge.
Here's a little trick that I use when I edit manuscripts. I pretend, literally, I visualize that I'm reading it to 20 kids. Not one kid. 20 kids. And when I'm reading it, I pause between breaks. Like there's no art, right? We're looking at a manuscript.
Yeah.
But between breaks, you just wait. You pause. Why? Because you're showing the art to the crowd.
Right. You know what's funny is, even though I read books aloud to kids every day, I haven't tested my books out with them very much, which is weird. I'm sort of like,
what are you afraid of, Travis?
I mean, I guess I'm afraid of it being a complete flop, probably. I did test out one idea, which has never become a book. And it was very much about the text of it. So I actually like drew it up and showed it. And I didn't tell them I wrote it. And then at the very end, they seemed to really enjoy it, which was great. I loved that. And then this kid was like, wait a second, did you make this? And I got so embarrassed that I did make it and that I didn't fess up to them that I just have never tried since then. And I don't know if I'll try again. We'll see.
For folks who are trying to write manuscripts and illustrating them as well, what word of advice or word of encouragement would you like to share with them?
What you just said about reading it out loud, even if it's not in front of kids, I think is huge. If you're kind of like boring yourself while you're doing that, that's a sign, to keep going and that it's maybe not quite there yet. So that's a really big one. I have this thing, this is kind of on a different track, but I have this thing like I really want illustrators to try writing more. I love it. I love it when I see an illustrator who I've seen illustrate a few books and not write them, and then they come out with their, author illustrator book. Angie Kang just did that and won a Caldecott honor for Our Lake.
Yeah,
that book was so well done and so beautiful.
Right.
That would be an encouragement that I would have. It's a skill, and writing is a skill, and you can get better at it. And I feel like if you have good taste and you are reading a lot and seeing a lot of great books, that taste kind of translates into writing, even if it's not the best at the beginning. I don't know. I always love seeing that.
To learn more about Travis, visit travisjonker.substack.com. If you find value in this podcast, consider becoming a patron. In return, you can access bonus episodes, receive invitations to our Art Directors After Hours series, and get a 10% off discount code for all ID offerings. Become a patron by visiting patreon.com/illustrationdept. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.